go. Hey, what's up? You're listening to the Youth Culture Podcast, where we talk faith, culture, and real stories. We're so glad you're here with us. Lock in. Well, what's up? My name is Ronnie Galdamez. I'm the Director of Youth Ministry here at the Shrine of St. Padre Pio, and you're listening to the Youth Culture Podcast. Welcome to episode 2. We have a new guest with us, which I'm excited. Here in a second we'll get to. And man, we exist for the sole purpose that when people listen to different podcasts, it's always about what's going on in other people's lives. And praise be God. Praise be to God that the Lord is moving and that people have testimony and they have witness to what the hand of the Lord can do. But we wanted to build something where it talks to the community here at the Shrine of St. Padre Pio. And we believe that God is real. We believe that he is a miracle worker. We believe that God is active, that he is not dormant. That is the beautiful thing about our faith. And so we wanted to highlight some of those stories, whether they are these massive stories, some people call them mid stories, or like me, you kind of feel like there isn't anything crazy about it at all, but it's even in the simplicity that the Lord shows up in beautiful ways. And I think there's a message here for everyone. And so we wanted to highlight what God is doing here at the Shrine of St. Padre Pio, what God is doing in people's personal lives with people that I get to connect with as a youth minister. And boy, am I excited for this guest. So without further ado, man, let's get into episode number 2. We've got Damien Paz. Damien, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, are you excited to be here?
Yes, I'm very excited.
Cool, man. I'm pumped. I'm pumped to have you, dude. Well, let's start with some fun questions right off the bat. These are some weird questions. There's no specific agenda here, but I'm just going to go off what's on here. I'm new to the podcast thing, so let me ask you just some fun ones. Coffee or energy drinks? What's your thing, dude?
That's tough. I like coffee. I drink it like split second, like it's gone.
Yeah.
I like coffee.
Are you like a Starbucks person or?
I actually like Dutch Bros better.
Dutch Bros.
Yeah, but I on Saturdays sometimes I go with my family. We go try coffee shops, so that's always nice. Yeah,
bro, that's like a family thing.
Well, it's like me and my aunts and my uncle and my sister sometimes joins us.
Dude, okay, man. Yeah. So you got the Latino blood in you guys. Yeah. Are you guys? How do I say it? Like socially, I would say for me growing up, it was coffee and donuts. Or you would call it panecito, you know what I mean? Like, is that you guys? Is that what you do?
Honestly, I feel like it's just like, I don't think it's like that. We just get coffee like.
Oh, just coffee.
Coffee.
Okay.
Well, sometimes we'll get like treats like the other day we went to a shop, we got like banana bread and like muffins, but like 100%. We just try like different coffee shops and they even have like a little passport where they put down like the coffee shops. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What do you mean a passport?
Like, it's like each coffee shop we go to, we like write it down and we rate the coffee that we got.
What?
So yeah, it's just like a little thing.
Listen, Youth Culture Podcast. Some people go to Disney and have autograph signatures. Damien Paz and his family stamp the coffee shops that they go to. I love that. That's actually a really cool tradition. I have never heard of that in my life, bro. But then again, like if I drink coffee, I think I'm having a heart attack, so I stay away from that, dude. So let me ask you this, dude. I'm curious because you're in high school, yeah?
Yeah.
What grade are you in?
I'm going to 12.
You're going to 12. So you're gonna be a senior?
Yep.
Okay,
senior.
Man. Let's go. Are you nervous?
A little, yeah. I'm a little nervous to graduate, but it's going to be an easy year, hopefully.
But you're going back with a bunch of homies that...
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, 100%. So actually, let me ask you this here. When it comes to high school, sometimes I feel like in youth ministry, as a youth minister, I know I had another thought, and that thought went beyond my head, but that's all right. So, but getting into like high school culture, oftentimes, like we will talk as we minister to teenagers, and sometimes we'll keep it generic because we're not like in high school right now. But is like, what's high school life like right now? Like if I walked into high school again, what do I see? What do I expect? What's kind of like the vibe, bro? Like, what are teenagers really like now? You know what I'm saying? Like back when I was in high school, it was like, well, I went to O'Connor High School in Helotes, and so there was like a big country scene. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I will say, ain't nobody was wearing jorts back then in 2013, 2012, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a different era. In fact, like I walked into Hollister recently and like that looks completely different. Back then it was like super tight t-shirts, really? Plaid shirts and like sandals, you know what I'm saying? Or like skinny pants. And like now you go into Hollister and it's just like jorts everywhere, crop top tees. Like anyway, what's the vibe, dude? What's high school like right now for you?
Honestly, it's pretty chill. I feel like everybody has their own little thing that they do. Like, everybody still has their own little group. I know for me, I like wearing my jorts, and I also love wearing, like, sandals. I put socks on for the podcast, but usually I wear no socks. So, I think it's pretty chill.
Yeah. Would you say, like, especially right now, as you know, being a Catholic, like what's sort of the culture there, going back to sort of like the vibe in high school? Are people pretty accepting of faith, do you think, like being in high school?
I think a lot. I feel like now it's growing a lot more.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yeah, people are pretty accepting. Not everybody wants to hear it, but I feel like the culture around it is growing. Like people are more and more coming back to their faith, whether it be Catholicism or like Christianity.
Yeah.
And so I feel like Jesus is definitely talked about a lot more.
Yeah, 100%.
I know there's a lot of clubs like at school we have Jags for Jesus. I don't go to it, but I've heard about it. So I feel like religion is definitely a lot more talked about now.
Yeah. What do you think that is from like a high school perspective?
Honestly, I just think people are starting to, like, you know, with social media, the Bible is being pushed out a lot more, and like habits are being built, and I think that's why like the culture is growing more in
Right.
school.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say even, you know, it seems to me like the more technology, the more resources available, and people are just starting to find out the truth. Like, wait a minute, like Christians aren't crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I loved how Mother Angelica, who's passed away for some time, she said, our job as Christians is never to impose our beliefs upon anyone or anybody. It's rather, the mission is to propose that there's an alternative way. And I think when, you know, you can approach anyone from like that perspective, conversations are more fruitful rather than like hostile, you know what I'm saying? Or like being like a debate, you know what I mean? Like right off the bat, and people are just like, nah, dude, I'm not going to believe what it's just more of a fruitful conversation where they get to hear your heart out, and they get, you know, you get to hear theirs. And so I think the idea is just to walk with people. But yeah, I was curious. I'm like, yeah, sometimes I feel like we can just speak and it'll be generic.
Yeah.
But what's actually life like there? And so you go to what high school?
I go to Johnson.
Dude, okay. Are you involved in anything? Like, what's your deal?
I'm not really involved at school.
Yeah.
I used to like play sports, but I don't play sports anymore.
Okay.
So,
what'd you play before?
I played football and I did wrestling for 1 year.
Dude, wrestling? They got wrestling at Johnson?
Yeah, they have wrestling.
Bro, that's awesome.
Actually, I do remember one thing I'm involved with. I'm in HOSA, so it's like a health occupation club. It's because like that's what I want to do. I want to be a doctor. So I was an officer last year. Probably gonna run again to be an officer this year.
What?
So,
what does that mean? Be an officer?
It's like
I'm thinking popo, man. You know what I'm saying?
nah. So it's more like we're like in charge of like figuring out what we do for the meeting. So last year I was the secretary. This year I'll probably run for one of the vice presidents.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what kind of doctor are you trying to be?
I'm trying to be a neurologist.
Neurologist. So like things that have to do with muscles and spasms,
the brain and the neurons, all that stuff.
Man. Yeah, dude, you're Jimmy Neutron. Dude, you ever seen Jimmy Neutron?
I mean, I know who he is. I never really watched the show.
Dude, my age is showing, bro. He would have these moments where like he would be like, think, brain blast, and like he would have these genius ideas. But are people like doctors in your family?
No, but my sister is on her 4th year. She's gonna be a nurse. So
what?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
So,
dude, I've had I'm not a nurse, but I've had 4 kids, so I've been in the hospital at least 4 different times for a few days. And like those overnight shifts for nurse are crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about nurses, but yeah. So what sparked that idea anyway? So like, what was kind of the root of your deal getting into that career field?
For me, like the brain and everything like that just really like interests me because like it's in charge of like our whole body. You know, like without our brain, our heart can't pump. So I really like how complex our body is and like how much we need our brain and our neurons and all that stuff. So I like that. Yeah.
Man, were you like watching YouTube late at night one night and you're like, this is it, bro. Like, I'm sold, bro. Say less. Say less.
My mom had some like neuro issues, and so like seeing that kind of inspired me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been it's really interested me since that. Yeah.
Wow. You know, interesting on that. Just a side note. Sometimes people think they have neuro issues, but in like my testimony, which I'm not going to get into today, but just because it made me think about it, it's like some people will often go to neurologists because they think something's wrong with their body, and it has nothing to do with the body, but everything to have to do with like a wound that someone has not let go of. You know what I mean? I'm interested to see like if you ever get into that, you know what I'm saying, and like realize, wait a minute,
There's nothing wrong necessarily here, but it's like a wound that you haven't forgiven, a wound that you haven't been healed from. You know what I'm saying? Like something that's attached itself to the body. There's like actually a scientific term for it, but I can't remember. And so sometimes the ultimate healer is Jesus, man. And so, dude, but that's awesome. So tell me, are you involved here at church? Like, what do you do?
Oh yeah, I altar serve. I really like to do EM. I just got trained on that like before the retreat. So
tell people who may not know what an EM is, because that sounds like a little DJ. You know what I'm saying?
So it's a Eucharistic minister. So we hand out the body and the blood of Christ. So I really enjoy that the most out of everything, because it's it's the closest you'll ever get to the Eucharist. Like besides like actually like taking it in, but like I love handing it out to people and just seeing like their smile and everything. It's great. I usher. Not as much now because I started altar serving more, but I usher, and then I'm actually going to be this year's co-director for the Teen Acts Retreat.
No way! You already found out?
Yeah, dude.
So the 411 is that in advance? You don't know what a 411 is, do you?
No.
Yeah, showing my age again, man. That's all right. 411 is just like what's the scoop? What's the loot? You know what I'm saying? Like what's happening?
I'm excited for that. It's me and Sayuri, and we're gonna start meeting soon. Hopefully, trying to figure stuff out. So I'm excited for that.
That's awesome.
That would be my
cool.
third year on team. So I'm pretty involved in that.
But first time as a director.
Yes, first time.
Man, let's go. Is there like some sort of law that like forbids you to be a director twice? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that a thing?
I think so. I think that's a thing. Yeah. I don't think there's ever been a director twice.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm very excited for that.
That's wild. I've never been a director, dude, for an Acts retreat.
Really?
Ever, yeah.
Hopefully,
but that's all right.
Hopefully, we do a good job. Yeah,
I think we will. I bet.
Holy
do you guys
Spirit.
have a theme yet?
No, not yet.
No inside scoop for PO Youth?
Not yet.
Oh man,
not yet. It's got to be a secret.
I wanted to be like, hey, you heard it here first, y'all.
No.
I just said y'all. Those who know me in my youth group say I don't say y'all. I'm from California, dude.
My family's from California.
Hold on, let me just for my homies back home, because I failed them. I said y'all. I love Texas though, but anyway, man, that's awesome. So. Okay, let's talk a little family, man. Like, is your family all Catholic?
So, no, my family's not all Catholic. My parents, they're not involved in the church.
Wow,
my mom goes to a non-denominational church every now and then, but my parents aren't really involved. My grandma is the one that actually like helped me step into my faith, and I came here a few times when I was a little kid. And so my grandma brought me back when I decided I wanted to, like step into my faith. And then recently, my aunt and my uncle, they got married, and my aunt, she went through OCIA and got all her sacraments. So
wow, praise Jesus. Let's go. That's amazing. This past Easter? Or?
Yeah, this past Easter. So, So yeah, my family's slowly getting there, but yeah.
Wow, man. So man, your mom being non-denominational, are you confirmed?
Yes, I got my sacraments sophomore year, so through OCIA also.
Dude, come on, sophomore year. That's a few years ago, so it's not like a recent pup here.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how'd you manage that? Like, why'd you become Catholic when you had influence at home going in the other direction?
Honestly, I just like the foundation of Catholicism. Like, it's straight from Jesus. Like when you. Like, I've seen a priest talk about it once on Instagram, and he said, like, when you search up, like, who started this religion, who started that religion, there's often other names, but when you search up who started Catholicism, it's Jesus Christ.
Right.
It's straight from him. So that's why I chose Catholicism, because, Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. I love that. I mean, the church... Catholicism has apostolic succession, which is a huge thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus had 12 disciples, and he gave them the ability to loose and to bind. You know what I'm saying? He made Peter the first pope, and so forth. And so, and then man, like the ordination of bishops and so forth, all the way down to Pope Leo XIV and the bishops that we have today, which would be the modern day apostles. In case you didn't know, for someone listening for the first time, an apostle is a disciple, but not every disciple is an apostle. An apostle is someone who is specifically sent forth, and only the apostles were specifically given the ability to do what priests do. And when you begin to like retract or subtract and go back in time, like it all leads to what you said is like the gospel, where Jesus is like giving this authority to Peter, to the apostles, and no other faith like shares that, which is a beautiful thing. So when you look at documentation in history, and you're like, yeah, man, like Jesus is coming back for one bride for one church, not churches, but just one church.
Yeah.
And what a gift it is to be a part of that church, to be a part of the universal church, the universality of his mission. You know what I'm saying? And that is the Catholic Church, right? It's what that word from the Greek katholikos means, universal. Yeah. It's where we get Catholic from. So that's amazing, man. And do you regret it?
No, not at all.
Let's go, man. That's amazing. Not. So I would say one thing I've been thinking about, it's like, dude, we need more teens like you who, amidst differences in their homes, aren't afraid, you know what I mean, of their faith. Yeah. And oftentimes I feel like for so long we've been part of a culture. It's like our parents hand down these, for some people it's tradition, but for us it's a way of life. It's actually the way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like Catholicism is the way. And what we do, our prayer life, our rhythm, is an outpour of what the Lord has done in our life. But, you know, I just feel like, at least my story, you know what I mean? I remember when someone said, Ronnie, one day you're going to be like a leader. And I won't name the person now, but they know who they are if they listen. And I was a teenager in high school like you, man. And I remember going up on stage, grabbing the mic, and sharing what I witnessed and what I experienced that weekend on a retreat that changed my life. And I said, when I go home, I'm going to lead my family to Jesus. And that sort of mentality is, I feel like, what can help someone like yourself stay afloat is that, you know, someone in your shoes might be discouraged and is like, oh, well, I'm not going to become Catholic because my mom's not even Catholic and stuff. But like you finding out the truth, you seeing it for yourself, and then allowing the Holy Spirit to lead you in that direction, I think is such a beautiful thing, man. And so props to you for being so bold and for being a witness of the Catholic faith, man. And so what does the Eucharist mean to you? We know that the Eucharist is Jesus. Mm-hmm. It's his body, his blood, his soul, and divinity. Is it fair to say like that is your lifeline as a Catholic?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, to me, the Eucharist is like a very special thing, and it's a very sacred thing. Yeah. And like, it honestly fascinates me. Like I know you're probably familiar with like all the miracles that happen in the Eucharist, and that's like crazy. Like it truly are like miracles, and like that's what. Like the other day I saw a TikTok actually about it, and it was all the miracles, and I was like, I'm reposting this because this is awesome. Like 100%. The miracles, like they're crazy. I remember watching a movie one time. I think it was probably made by like Ascension or one of those. Yeah. But it was talking about like all the miracles, and the Eucharist is like very sacred to me. I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
No better feeling.
Were you at the POU tonight where we talked about the Shroud of Turin?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, no, that's all right. But what's interesting, even on that topic, is like, so some of the miracles that you may be thinking about, which is because they're pretty consistent, is that they found that when scientists who weren't even like, you know, some of them weren't even Christian, like, or Catholic at that, like studied the samples of the blood, they said, okay, this belongs to a living person. It's blood type AB, and we can, from the analysis, like tell that this is blood pertaining to someone who suffered like brutality, you know what I mean? And like it just stays consistent. And with the Shroud of Turin, when they've studied those blood samples as well, those blood stains like on the shroud itself, the same thing was blood type AB. So it's like, man, should these blood samples be different? I mean, we might be able to go like, it's inconsistent. I don't know about it, you know what I mean? But like the fact is, to me, that's the hand of the Lord over all of this evidence. Like the evidence is in the room, you know what I mean? Yeah. And we just need eyes and a heart to see. And oftentimes, you know, some of our past and our wounds, you know what I'm saying, like make that hard, you know, and thicken the veil. But man, I believe that the goodness and the grace of God can pierce through any veil, should we allow him to do so, man. And so, man, that's awesome. So what led you ultimately to having a relationship with God? I know that coming into Catholicism was some of the evidence, right? And looking at Instagram reels or whatever, right? And rightfully so, and then going to do your own research and stuff. But what was it about you just having a personal relationship with God, which is ultimately what receiving the Eucharist is the most beautiful, the most pure form of having a personal relation with Jesus, is to literally receive him and be one with him. Yeah. but what was it for you? Like what moment in time, like what happened that made you decide like were you always this like into your faith? You know what I'm saying? Like, or was there a time where you had no faith?
Oh no, there was definitely a time where I had no faith, and I think for me it was just like my struggles or like family struggles that really brought me into my religion. Like I just felt like, what do I need to, you know, like get away from these problems? What do I need? Like I feel like I was constantly trying to like chase something to take away like whatever I was going through, because I feel like I try to run away from my problems, and I think that's what made me purchase a Bible, and I ended up calling my grandma, and I was like,
wait, you purchased a Bible out of your own money?
Out of my own money, yeah.
Come
from
on,
Amazon. From Amazon.
Let's go,
yeah,
bro.
and that's what really like sparked the fire. And I called my grandma. I was like, yeah, I want to go to mass on whenever it is. She's like, yeah, it's at 8:30 on Sunday. I'll pick you up. And then we ended up going, and I've been going ever since. So,
dude, what do you call grandma? Is it a grandma?
Oh, I call her Grammy.
Grammy,
Yeah,
okay,
Grammy,
okay.
Grammy
Yeah.
and Grampy.
Dude, people have different names for Grammy and Grandpa. So, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, my grandma's Ma Mariquita, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, like we say mama and then Mariquita, and she's Maria. And but for Grandpa's always just been Grandpa, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and so,
for me it's Grammy and Grampy.
Dude, that's awesome. Are they both still around?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
No
go to
way.
mass with both of them. So,
Dude, what?
Yeah.
How old are they?
I'm not sure.
Tough question. Dude.
I don't remember their age.
Yeah. I just recently, honestly, remembered. Started to know my grandma's age because she got into her 90s, and so it's hard to forget that you're in your 90s. You know what I'm saying? At least for me, from the other side, going like, wait, she's somewhere in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And man, she's gone through so much, but she has such beautiful character, such a loving person, man. Is that kind of what your grandma's like?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Or is she a little rough when it comes to faith? Like, was she that type of person who's like, Damien, like pay attention in mass? You know what I'm saying?
For sure, yeah.
No way.
Sure. Falling asleep, wake me up.
Dude, no way.
But yeah,
wow,
it helped 100%.
Yeah,
You know,
you mentioned something that you had said. I was trying to run away. Why do you think teenagers prefer to run away? Do you think it's preference, or do you think is that they don't see another way?
I think it's definitely like you don't see another way.
Yeah,
and it's hard to like get out of that, but you know, God willing, it eventually will come.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and because God's always calling out our names, we just have to take it. You know,
Come on.
So
That's so good. That's so good. What do you think, like, for a teenager, man? Like, what would you say to a teenager who might be going through something difficult right now, or maybe is on the brink of like, should I give my life to Jesus? Should I continue to pursue my faith as a Catholic? Maybe someone who's thinking like, I don't know if I want to go to church anymore, or like what words of encouragement would you be for someone who's kind of sitting in a rubble right now, coming from where you've been?
I would say give it to God, 100%. Like, I mean, there's nothing more that you could do. You just got to give it to God, trust in God, and He always has a plan. Whether it may come, like, it may not come like at the time you want it to come, but eventually it will come. And like, for me, it's just like what I had to do is just, you know, give it to God, let God handle my problems, and He'll deal with it. And like me now, I'm here, like being on this podcast, like being able to share my story and talk about my faith. Like, that's the number one advice I can give, is just give it to God.
Yeah, man. What are some of the things that started to change for you when you finally gave it to God?
I think for sure it was like I was more happy, 100%. Like, as soon as I walk out of mass, biggest smile on my face, just, you know. And also I think I got more confident, and I was more like straightforward about my faith from then.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. I wanted to revisit real quick, you know, the Eucharistic minister, and like the weight that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? What's one or two things that you've learned in your time as a Eucharistic minister? I know that if I'm correct, you're coming on your last year, right, as being a Eucharistic minister. Mm-hmm. Like, what has that meant for you? What's one thing that you've taken from that you feel like you could take with you for the rest of your life?
I feel like just how do I say this, like the sacredness of the Eucharist, like how important it is and how much of an honor it is for me to be giving it out to people.
Right.
And also, honestly, that's kind of a tough question. I think that's really my only answer, just like really understanding like the beauty and the importance of like the Eucharist in our faith. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's discipline that comes with that, and I feel like we've lost a lot of that sense of discipline. Mm-hmm. And when we lose discipline in our lives, it's easier to get comfortable with mediocrity. When we lose discipline in our lives, I feel like we lose a sense of direction in our lives. And I think order is a beautiful thing. Yes, you guys are young, and I was going to say we're young. I'm no longer young. I like to think I'm somewhat young, but God designs with order, and there's a beauty to it. It's not because he's bounding us by rules and regulations, because he wants us to be like sort of these predetermined, because we're not predetermined. We have free will. But I'll say this, order and discipline is such a beautiful thing. Pope John Paul II said something that I love, and I've said throughout the years, and he said, it's paraphrased, but he said, free will is not the ability to just do whatever you want, but it's the opportunity to do as you ought to do. By ought meaning what I was designed to do, who I was created for, why I was created, right? And the purpose of life is very simple. Sometimes we, as young people, especially when I was in high school, like we overcomplicate things. I feel like high schoolers can sometimes complicate it, and this is more so speaking from the right that I had being in high school at one point, is that, oftentimes we find ourselves in an identity crisis, like, who am I? Well, here's the answer, for anyone who's listening in, you're a child of God. You are a child of God. You're his beloved. And so that is your identity right there. And what is the purpose of your life? It's very simple. It's not easy, but it's very simple. The answer is quick. It's to know him, to love him, to serve him, and to make him known. Those 4 things is the purpose of life. To love him, to know him, to serve him, and to make him known. And if you can grasp that, and you can tap into that area of your life and invite the Holy Spirit, I feel like mountains are bound to move, man. Chains are bound to break, because our God is a miracle working God. And there isn't, there's a song that says, there's no mountain that he won't climb up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
and so you having, you know what I'm saying? Like, you having that testimony, you know that to be true. You've seen the Lord at work. And I feel like for someone like you and myself, we've gone through things in our life that have been heavy. You know what I mean? I know that you shared that there was family issues that you had, and how traumatic that can be. I've had family issues in my past, things that I'll never forget, things that scar me till this day, things that a kid should never have to see in his household, and done things as a kid that no kid should ever have to do. Mm-hmm. But like, we've seen a miracle working God, and so therefore, even through those dark moments and those dark seasons, we cannot deny our testimony. We cannot deny where the Lord has been active, and how faithful he is. And, I'll say this, the enemy, and I've talked to this to my wife, I was talking to my wife about it, and I said, our past is the devil's playground. He will always lurk in that area and always say, Damien, don't forget that. Damien, don't forget that. You know what I'm saying? In fact, we were watching this movie. I was reluctant to watch it. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called K-pop Demon Hunters. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
And like the main character, like there's this character that's essentially like the devil, right? But that's exactly what he does, is that he was trapped to that sort of demon. Mm-hmm. And there's this specific scene in the movie where he takes him back into a flashback, and he basically says, don't forget that you did that. Remember, that's who you are, right? But that's not who we are. That's not our identity. And as Pope John Paul II said, like, we are not, you and me, and anyone listening, like, we are not the sum of our failures. We are not the sum of our past. We're the sum of the Father's love. And there is a past, there is a present, and we have a future in Jesus' name, man. So, dude, you're a living witness and a living testimony, and thank you so much for being on the podcast today, man. It's been a pleasure to have you. Thank you for sharing a little bit about your story, man, and just taking a second to encourage other teenagers, dude. And so I'd encourage you guys, if you're here plugged into at the shrine and you see Damien, man, link up with him, man. I'm sure that he'd be willing to just lend you an ear, man, and just talk and be someone that you can rely on. How does that sound for you, man?
Awesome. Anytime you see me, just come say what's up. I'm not gonna bite. I'm friendly, and I'll talk to you about whatever you want to talk about, whether it be about faith or about anything, school, whatever. So
yeah, 100%, man. Do you want to drop an Instagram @ or something?
Oh yeah, it's dpause with I think like 3 Z's and 2119. So yeah.
Yeah, and if the 3 Z's don't work, try 2. If that doesn't work, try 1.
Yeah.
Maybe try 4, but we'll find him. So if not, he follows us on PO Youth.
Yeah.
So anyway, dude, Damien, God bless you, brother. Thanks so much for being here.
Ronnie, it's been amazing.
100%, man. Thank you.
Thank you.